This chronic frustration of following all the rules of the nice guy, being attentive, available, and yet still being treated as invisible. That feeling that the more you try to please, the less respect and attraction you receive. I understand that pain. It is the bitter taste of seeing the prize you deserve handed to others, while you are left with emptiness. What if I told you that the cause of your failure isn't you, but the great lie you were taught? The lie that kindness and availability are the currencies of attraction. The truth is, they don't reject your heart. They instinctively reject the weakness you project by begging for their approval. In this video, I won't give you tricks. I will give you the first and most powerful Stoic tool to destroy your dependence on validation and forge the inner strength that is the true aphrodisiac. Let's begin. Now, I want you to stop everything and do a mental exercise with me. It's simple yet profound. Imagine a circle of light on the floor around you. This is your circle of control. Inside this circle are the only three things in the universe over which you have absolute power: your actions, your reactions, and your principles. It is your kingdom. It is the only place where you are sovereign. Now, look outside the circle. There lies everything else. Whether she will answer your message, what she will think of you, whether she will approve or reject you, all of that is outside of your control. The first rule of strength, the tool you will apply from this day forward, is this: focus 100% of your energy, your mind, and your spirit only on what is inside the circle. Feel that. The immediate relief you feel by letting go of the weight of what is outside. That is your first dose of freedom. That is the first step to breaking free from her orbit and creating your own center of gravity. This exercise is not modern self-help. It is a 2,000-year-old weapon, forged by the Stoic philosophers and named the dichotomy of control. Masters like Epictetus, who was born a slave and became one of the greatest thinkers in history, taught that all anxiety, all weakness, and all human suffering are born from a single fundamental flaw: the insane attempt to control the uncontrollable. This philosophy was not created for monks on isolated mountains. It was forged on the battlefield, in the Roman Senate, and in the chaotic markets of ancient Greece. It was the tool of men of action. From Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who ruled the greatest empire in the world, to Seneca, the statesman and advisor who navigated the dangerous waters of Roman politics. They understood that external power is fleeting, but power over oneself is absolute. By obsessively focusing only on your actions and becoming indifferent to external outcomes, you do not become cold. You become free. You build an internal emotional fortress, immune to manipulation and reactivity. You stop being a satellite anxiously spinning in search of light, and you start to become the rock upon which a new reality will be built. Now that you have the foundation, let's erect the structure. We will demolish the pleaser satellite mentality, brick by brick, and build the unshakable rock with 7 practical and profound pillars. The pleaser satellite lives in terror of rejection. For him, every interaction is a referendum on his worth. When he sends a message and hours go by without a reply, his internal court convenes. The monologue in his mind is pure torture. She saw the message. She didn't reply. What did I say wrong? Was it the joke? Was it too soon? Too late? She must be talking to another guy. A better guy. Taller, funnier. I knew it. I'm an idiot. There is something fundamentally wrong with me. This spiral of self-accusation turns a simple non-reply into a verdict of guilt over his entire existence. Rejection for him is proof that he is inadequate. The unshakable rock, on the other hand, has trained his mind to operate under a completely different paradigm, the Stoic paradigm. When he doesn't receive a reply, his internal monologue is logical, calm, and centered on his circle of control. I sent the message. That was my action, within my control. Her response is outside of my control. There could be 1,000 reasons for her silence. She's busy, she forgot, she's not interested. Only one of those reasons has to do with me, and even that one doesn't define my worth. My worth is defined by my actions, not by the reaction of others to them. What is in my control now? My work, my workout, my reading. I will focus on that. He doesn't suppress the emotion. He observes it and analyzes it with logic. He understands the central lesson of Epictetus. It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. The event is neutral, an unanswered message. The satellite's judgment is, I am a failure. The rock's judgment is, this is external data that does not affect my mission. Think of rejection like the weather. The pleaser satellite leaves his house, sees that it's raining, and screams at the sky, cursing the clouds and taking the rain as a personal insult that has ruined his day and his identity. The unshakable rock looks at the rain, acknowledges the reality of the weather, grabs an umbrella, and continues on his way to his destination. He doesn't waste a second of mental energy fighting against a reality he cannot change. The next time you feel the sting of rejection, be it an ignored message, a no to an invitation, or even a scornful look, verbalize internally, deliberately, this is an external event. It is information, not a judgment. My self-worth remains intact. Then, immediately, shift your physical and mental focus to a productive task that is 100% under your control. The language of the pleaser satellite is the language of supplication. He treats his own decisions as fragile proposals that need external ratification to become valid. His mind, before making an invitation, is a labyrinth of doubts. Will she like this place? What if it's too expensive? Or too cheap? What if she doesn't like the music? Maybe it's better if I ask her what she wants to do. Yes, that's safer. That way, if the date is bad, it's not my fault. This abdication of leadership is not seen as kindness as he believes. It is seen as weakness. It is the transmission of a clear subconscious message. I don't trust my own judgment. I need you to guide me. I have no center. The unshakable rock understands that leadership is a gift, not an imposition. It is the gift of certainty in a world of uncertainty. His mind operates with clarity and purpose. His monologue is, I want to have experience X. That new restaurant seems interesting and aligned with my taste. Her presence would be a valuable addition to this experience that I have already decided to have. I will invite her to join me on my path, not to create a path for me. His communication reflects this internal certainty. Instead of what do you think about maybe going somewhere on Saturday, he says, on Saturday night, I'm going to check out that new Italian restaurant on Flower Street. I would very much like for you to be my company. The statement isn't arrogant. It is confident. He is not asking for permission to desire something. He is declaring his intention and offering her the opportunity to participate. This is magnetically attractive because the masculine energy of direction and purpose creates a safe space for the feminine energy to relax and enjoy. He assumes the burden of the decision, freeing her to simply live the experience. Philosophically, this connects to the Stoic virtue of practical wisdom, phronesis, the ability to make sound decisions and act on them effectively. During this week, plan an activity from start to finish. It can be for yourself, with friends, or an invitation for her. Choose the place, the time, and the activity. Then communicate the plan as a statement, not a question. Instead of, do you guys want to go to the movies? Say, I'm going to see movie X on Friday at 8 p.m. at Theater Y. Whoever wants to come, meet me there. Feel the shift in power in your own posture when you lead instead of ask. The pleaser satellite's self-esteem is an external commodity. He outsources it. It depends on her replies, her compliments, her attention. His emotional state is a direct reflection of her behavior. If she smiles at him, he feels on top of the world. If she seems distant, he falls into an abyss of insecurity. His monologue is a constant monitoring. She laughed at my joke. Great, I'm doing well. She's on her phone while I'm talking. Damn, I'm being boring. She said she liked my shirt. Phew, I chose the right outfit. He is a rudderless boat, tossed back and forth by the waves of external validation. The unshakable rock practices what Seneca taught. The greatest part of progress is the desire to progress. He understands that true self-esteem is not a gift given by others, but a fortress built by himself, brick by brick, through actions aligned with an internal code of honor. The rock's internal monologue is a check-in with his own values, not with her reaction. Today, did I face that difficult conversation at work with honesty and courage? Yes. Did I keep my promise to go to the gym, even though I was tired? Yes. Did I treat others with respect, regardless of how I was treated? Yes. Then, today, I am a man of value. The world's opinion on that is secondary. He becomes the only judge whose opinion truly matters. Think of it as the difference between an artist who paints for the critics and an artist who paints to express his own soul. The first is always anxious, afraid of judgment. The second finds joy and satisfaction in the act of creation itself, in the alignment between his vision and his work. External approval, when it comes, is a bonus, not the source of his worth. At the end of each day this week, take a notebook and write down 3 things you did that were difficult, but right, according to your own principles. They can be small, not procrastinating on a task, being honest when it would be easier to lie, helping someone without expecting anything in return. Validate yourself for these actions. Feel the power of being your own source of approval. The pleaser satellite sees conflict as a system failure, a sign that he did something wrong. Peace, even if it's a false and fragile peace, is his main objective. If she makes a sarcastic joke that belittles him, his monologue is pure damage control. Don't say anything. If I complain, she'll think I'm too sensitive. It will create a bad atmosphere. It's better to laugh and pretend I didn't care. Harmony is more important than my self-respect. He sacrifices his territory inch by inch, in exchange for a truce that only exists in his mind. The unshakable rock understands a fundamental truth that the Stoics practiced. Respect is born at the boundaries. He does not seek conflict, but he does not fear the truth. For him, an honest disagreement is not a threat, but an opportunity to clarify positions, strengthen the connection through authenticity, and teach others how he expects to be treated. When the same boundary is crossed, the rock's monologue is calm and strategic, focused on the virtue of courage. That joke undermined my respect. Silence would be complicity, and aggressive. Reaction would be losing control. The correct action is to communicate my boundary calmly and firmly. Then he looks at her, without anger, and says, "I know you may not have intended it, but I don't speak about myself that way, and I ask that you don't either." The sentence is a wall of steel, but delivered with the serenity of a monk. He does not ask, he informs. He does not attack, he establishes a boundary. This demonstration of self-worth is incredibly powerful. She may not like it in the moment, but her respect for him increases exponentially. He has proven that he is not a doormat, but a man with a solid core, someone whose boundaries must be recognized. Identify an area in your life where you have been avoiding an honest conflict for fear of creating a bad atmosphere. It could be with a friend, a family member, or at work. Plan how you can communicate your boundary or your opinion in a calm, respectful, but non-negotiable way. Use the formula: when you do X, I feel Y. What I need is Z. Practice this communication. The pleaser satellite's universe is geocentric. It revolves around the woman he desires. She is not a part of his life. She becomes his life. His projects, passions, and purpose are put on hold, like tools in a garage, waiting to be used only if she is not available. His monologue is a constant negotiation with his own purpose. I should work on my project tonight, but what if she calls me? It's better to be available. I'll skip the gym tomorrow in case she suggests doing something last minute. He becomes reactive, a drifting boat waiting for her wind to blow. The unshakable rock is heliocentric. He is the sun, the center of his own solar system. He has a mission. This mission is his why, the driving force that gets him out of bed in the morning. It could be building a business, mastering a skill, achieving a physical goal, or creating a work of art. It is something bigger than himself and certainly bigger than any relationship. The rock's monologue is one of prioritization. My priority today is to complete this chapter of my project. It is crucial for my progress. If she calls me, I will evaluate if the invitation fits my mission or hinders it. A healthy relationship should complement my journey, not derail it. Think of the lighthouse analogy. The satellite is a small boat, tossed by the waves, desperately chasing her ship. The rock is the lighthouse. He goes nowhere. He is firmly anchored in his foundation, emitting his own light, focused on his sole purpose, to guide. Ships can navigate towards his light or choose another route. The lighthouse does not care. He continues to shine, imposing, secure, and with an unshakable purpose. It is this energy of a man focused on his own path that becomes irresistibly attractive. He does not need to chase. He attracts. Define your mission. Take a pen and paper and answer this question. If money and the approval of women were not an issue, what would I dedicate my life to? Be specific. Write down this mission and put it somewhere you will see it every day. Before making a decision, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to or further from my mission? The pleaser satellite's communication is an apology for his own existence. His sentences are inflated with filler words, hesitations, and justifications that weaken his message. He constantly places himself in the defendant's stand, feeling the need to explain and defend his every action to a jury that only exists in his mind. So I was thinking, and I'm sorry if this sounds silly, but I think maybe it would be a good idea, if everyone agrees, of course, that we try to approach the project this way. I just thought of it because the unshakable rock practices verbal economy. He understands that the power of his words lies in their precision and their necessity. He speaks like a king, not a tyrant, but a sovereign leader of his own kingdom. His speech is direct, assertive, and final. He does not seek approval for his statements. When he needs to cancel an appointment, instead of a long paragraph of apologies and justifications, he says, "Something unexpected came up. I won't be able to make it today. We need to reschedule." The statement is final. It leaves no room for negotiation or drama. It is the communication of a man who controls his time and his decisions. He is not asking for forgiveness for having a life and priorities. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The rock's communication reflects this. He does not describe his power. He demonstrates it through clarity and conciseness. He removes words like maybe, I think, just, sorry, unless a real mistake was made, and replaces them with the silent certainty of who he is. For the next 24 hours, go on a justification fast. Communicate your decisions and opinions without adding an explanation unless it is explicitly requested. If you don't want to go to an event, say, "Thank you for the invitation, but I won't be able to go," instead of making up a long story. Feel the initial discomfort and then the power that comes from owning your decisions. This is the fundamental error, the architectural flaw in the pleaser satellite's mentality. He builds a pedestal of marble and gold and places the woman on top. In his mind, she is not a person. She is a goddess, a perfect creature devoid of flaws. He, in comparison, is the unworthy mortal who must perform great deeds to deserve a glance from her. His monologue is one of adoration. She is perfect. The way she laughs, the way she thinks. There is no one like her. I have to be careful not to say anything wrong, so as not to break this perfect image I have of her. This dynamic is fatal. By placing her above, he automatically places himself below. The interaction ceases to be between two equals and becomes that of a worshipper and a deity. And no healthy woman desires a worshipper. She desires a partner, an equal, a king for her throne, not a servant for her feet. The unshakable rock takes a hammer and destroys the pedestal. He practices a form of stoic realism. He sees her as she is, a human being. A fascinating, beautiful, intelligent human being perhaps, but still, a human being. With her own insecurities, her own fears, her own flaws. He admires her, but he does not idealize her. This frees him to interact with her authentically. He can joke with her, challenge her ideas, disagree with her respectfully. He is not afraid of messing things up because there is no fragile, idealized image to mess up. There are only two real people interacting. This equality is the basis for genuine attraction. He is not trying to win her approval. He is evaluating if she is worthy of his approval. And this subtle reversal in the power dynamic changes absolutely everything. Think of the woman you idealize the most. Now take a piece of paper, and with brutal honesty, list 3 flaws or imperfections you can observe in her as a human being. The goal is not to diminish her, but to humanize her in your mind. It is to take her out of the realm of the gods and bring her down to earth, where a real connection between two equals can finally happen. The journey from satellite to rock is not about becoming cold, distant, or a bad boy. It's about becoming free. It's about sealing the bucket of your self-esteem so that no one, ever again, has the power to empty it. It's about understanding that you are not one half looking for another to complete you. You are an entire universe, inviting another universe to dance together for a while. The real turning point, the moment of your mastery, will happen silently. It will be a day when a situation that would have previously destroyed you, an ignored message, a canceled date, a criticism, will be met within you not with panic or anger, but with a deep calm and serene detachment. You will observe the situation like a general on a hill observes the battlefield, with distance, with strategy, and without getting carried away by the chaos of the moment. In that moment, you will know you have won. You will realize that your peace, your happiness, is no longer in her hands. It is within your circle of control. It is in your hands. Always remember the truth that will set you free. Emotional self-sufficiency is the greatest aphrodisiac. Conquer yourself, and the respect of the world, including hers, will be an inevitable consequence. If this journey to become the unshakable rock resonates with you, if you are ready to abandon weakness and embrace your true strength, then join our community of men who are forging themselves. Subscribe to the Mente Blindata channel to receive more tools like this. Leave a comment below telling me which of the 7 pillars you will start applying today. Your journey inspires us all. And like this video so that this message of strength can reach more men who are still trapped in the great lie. I am the accessible sage, and our journey is just beginning.